Mike, you got a review here for Epic the Musical. Um, and yeah, so let's let us know about this
Yeah.
project.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, Epic the Musical is a musical by is a it's a musical retelling of the story of Odysseus on his trip home. Originally, it was going to be about the Iliad, but then it was like that's way too long. It's way too long for him to make, and it's like all the major beats of it. And it recently just finished the whole live stream concept album for Epic the Musical, and now like it just took off like insane. And now it's like they're talking about like making a stage play, and they're talking with like making it an animated series and talking about like even like having a video game because there were like Jorge did have an idea to make this a video game originally, but now we see this and it's like all out and it's like it's kind of a rare Greek myth retelling as well. Like for now, like a modern Greek myth retelling is like well, of course it's not accurate because like some things have to be changed for like pacing and like plot times and like not everything can be added and like some characters are extended a bit like some stuff are giving more gravitas uh at the same time it's like it doesn't take like a it doesn't water down the characters or like oversimplify them or like be like, oh, here's the good guy and the bad guy of the story. It's like it's more so they're very complex, nuanced, like flawed characters going throughout their own adventures and stuff like that. They have their own personalities and like motives and stuff like that, which clash with one another. And with probably one of the best musical leads I've seen in a long time of played by no other by Jorge Odysseus and the whole you love Odysseus, but also like at the same time the musical does open with him killing the baby. So and now that wrapped up with the whole Ithaca saga, we are now they're now talking about like actually they're talking with companies of like making like two potential animated series of that where they could add more like cut songs and stuff like that. So it's a really cool musical that hasn't quite been done before, and we see all the stuff like uh, it's actually his girlfriend of like Circe's palace and Odysseus of like that's extended on a bit more to be more of a plot driven thing. It's a fairly dark musical as well with which kind of explores more of the more gray morality of most of the characters here as well as like so many of the gods and monsters in this feel like legit terrifying threats that you quite haven't seen in a while. uh, and it's appreciative how it does feel like Jorge understands and respects the original source material to the point where he even mentions like, don't use this as a base. If you're going to use this to, you should read the original story because they're great stories and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a great musical. It wrapped up its final saga. Each of these sagas came out in parts. So there's the Troy saga, there's the Troy saga, the Sea saga, the Cyclops saga, all that, and it finished with the Ithaca saga. I think like 38 songs in total, and it's yeah. And the fun thing is they live stream every month with the release of each saga.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, so this came out like Christmas Day in America, and it was a great moment. I cried at the last song. I was in the theater when it happened, so I was just in the seat trying to make sure no one was looking at me as I just like held my head up.
Uh, and so this so all is just they were singing the whole way through here, all these 2 hours.
Oh yeah, this is entirely sung through musical.
Okay. Let's play a little. I'll play a little bit of it here.
Mhm.
I won't play it that long. I won't get
Yeah,
copyright strike, but I'll play a little bit of it.
of course.
When does a man become a monster? 558 men who died under your command. Captain, 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 Captain Why would you let the Cyclops live when ruthlessness is mercy? All I hear are screams.
Okay. Very
Yeah.
nice. All right.
Yeah. Also, it's a great musical to like listen in one go or like listen back because so much of the lines and like verses are reincorporated and like it's a great musical to like listen back to see like oh okay it's seeing how like that reflects that or like how that's kind of recontextualizes that line. Another really cool thing about this is that every character has like their own instrument. Characters like Odysseus, he has like I think he has the guitar, and like Euryclus, he has like the crew is his singing voice, and Athena has like the piano theme, and her brother Ares has her theme but reversed. And it was originally a college project, but then he decided to like expand it upon a bit more. And he's only like 26, and this thing is just like gotten insanely big, and I just can't wait to see what he does in the future. Not a ton of major issues I have with this, to be honest. Maybe it's just because it's been a while that I've seen a musical like this, like even one that's like as well as like a adaptation of Greek mythology that like doesn't really play that much like it's a nice breath of fresh air as opposed to like so many like modern takes on like Greek mythology when it comes to like retellings or adaptations. And yeah, oh yeah, it's also beating Wicked on Spotify, which is insane.
Oh, okay. That's pretty nice. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And this is the guy right here. This is Jorge Riviera
Like
Hernandez. Yeah, so this is him. So
yeah,
he's the mastermind behind
yeah, pretty
all
much.
the epic.
Yeah, it started on TikTok. He did auditions through TikTok for people too. Uh, I'm not sure if his girlfriend did audition, but she got the part. So she's fucking great in that.
Okay. Well, it helps. Hey, she's talented. That helps.
Yeah, yeah. His mom and dad are also in this in very brief roles. His dad's Hephaestus, and his mother is she actually plays Odysseus' mom in this. I forget her name. That's another thing about kind of like I have read both the Iliad and the Odyssey. There are so many characters, and so many of them just have like one line.
Mm,
You kind of forget like how their name is pronounced. And yeah, now that like he also has just great timing, weirdly enough, because this came out, then like the whole Ralph Fiennes movie, The Return came out, which is Odysseus, like it's the story of like Odysseus returning, and then there's stuff like that new Christopher Nolan movie that's coming out, and it's just going to be compared to Epic the Musical.
yeah. I don't know. Maybe Christopher Nolan reach out, give him some
Yeah, yeah,
work
give
here.
him a heads up and stuff. Well, yeah, yeah, and that's another thing that like Odysseus will do. Like he doesn't do everything he does in the book because like some of that would be like, oh shit, this was from maybe a different time. But it's like he does like bad stuff in this. Like he's still like he was still at part of like the sacking of Troy and all that. I really appreciate that he doesn't like he even said this in a like when he got asked a question like why'd you make this one, what was the inspiration to make this character like likable but still bad. He's like I don't really write my characters to be like likable or dislikable. I just write them to be like complex characters living their own life and story. And yeah, there's a whole thing with like Calypso and like the very kind of dark aspect around her. And it's just the thing of like like if you know the Odyssey like Calypso's thing, then you know you know what we're talking about because like what Calypso does is pretty dark. Yeah, there that's the crew and all that stuff, and yeah,
Mm,
yeah, it's going on for like I think like 2 years at this point. And yeah, it's funny seeing him like without the beard at this point because he looks a lot older with the beard, despite the fact he's only 26.
mm. Yeah, without the beard, he looks much younger. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Unlike me, who I look like shit, like old as fuck, regardless of what kind of facial hair I have.
Um.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is really cool. So just some young upstarts there, kind of
yeah,
breaking the
yeah,
internet.
yeah.
Pretty much.
He said he also like he does get the chance to make an anime series. He says he wants to do it with the company that made Arcane because he's like he
Oh.
loves that style.
Okay.
I will say, not a massive flaw, but like I do think, and of course it's his project. I can't like be a dick about this, but like some of the designs and like character like looks he does choose for his characters during like the official animax he does, they kind of look a bit too like polished anime characters to a degree. And like anime was a huge influence on him, especially like RPGs. Like
So this is it right here.
yeah, Yes, that's official. Like you see all the other past like background animators as well. Not so much this design, but stuff like during the God games, which is just like one of the best songs in the in the whole series. But his Zeus looks very like anime Zeus, as opposed to like I do like some of the ones that make him a bit more burly, a bit more like play with like the animal motifs, and like sometimes Odysseus looks like too jacked in some of his. I like the ones that play with like more the scraggly. Oh, this man has been at sea for like 20 years, and he's like tanned and look like shit. He has like a weird beard.
Mhm.
uh,
You like the Zeus to look more like what Russell Crowe Zeus? A little bit.
yeah, more like Neil the Illustrator Zeus, because that's another thing. Like a lot of these animacs are very big people, and they play with like the shapes and sizes of them. Like Annie Flamas as well, who makes like a incredible Zeus, and like uh but yeah, overall, like really, really insanely high production for something that started on TikTok. Uh, really can't wait to see how he goes like further for this. Yeah, this is a bit too anime looking for me, but it's like that's not like it's his project. I can't talk bad about it.
Okay, so this is supposed to be Zeus, right? Is Zeus?
Yeah, it's Zeus, played
Oh,
by
okay.
Luke Holt. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Pride is the Thunder Saga. Yeah, another very cool thing about this is like you can see how each of the names are each of the monsters are just like the monster songs from this like Polypheramorus, who's like the Cyclops, like that's just the name of the song, like Polypheramorus, or like Circe because she's the threat, or like stuff like. Or another very very cool thing is that you never hear Zeus's name be mentioned. But it's Zeus just of like how the characters like speak of him and like the vibe around him, and yeah, and the song Thunderbringer is just such a fun song, despite the fact it's like it's a really fucked up thing that's happening. It's a bit more dramatic than like how it went down in the original story, but still it's done so well.
Okay, yeah, this is very interesting. It makes me want to check it out there.
Mhm.
So you saying planning on working on an animated show, planning
Yeah,
on doing a like a live
stage
action
play
stage play there.
and maybe a he said maybe a video game as well because video games were a big influence. I believe it was going to be. He also wanted to do like a fighting game at first.
Okay. Fighting game musical.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, well, in COD games, when Zeus introduces all the characters, he has like very much like the announcer voice, like Ares.
mm, okay.
But yeah, and yeah, he was inspired by stuff like uh like Lin Manuel, and you can see that inspiration a bit. However, I do think, for one, like, this is like a diss of Lin Manuel. Be your own character in your own musicals is very hard. But for one, I do think Jorge has a much stronger singing voice. I think he has much higher, he has a much like broader pitch, but also like he has a great voice. It's like almost like a storyteller talking to you. Uh, and there are some like songs like Monster or like The Underworld are just like some of his most powerful songs. And there's so much sorrow in his voice whenever he sings.
He
Uh,
sings on this one right here, right?
uh, Oh yeah, well no, that's the thing because he's the monster in this. It's mostly like the suitors who are sitting Odysseus, like he's in the background.
Okay, so this one right here would be.
Yeah.
Let's hear a little bit of his voice here a little bit. So I'll play a little bit of it. Is this a good to start at the beginning, or you want me to go a little bit further?
Oh, you can start whatever. It's a great song.
Okay. Let's. Oh shit.
You're good.
How has everything been turned against us? How did suffering become so endless? How am I to reunite with my estranged? Do I need change? I'm surrounded by the souls of those I've lost. I'm the only one whose line I haven't crossed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Lin-Manuel Miranda, he just did the music for Mufasa. He just did
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
one.
I do think he also has like because each character has like it's more of a tangential musical for the most part, but like each character feels so focused, and the way the music is like not recycled but reused to like reflect the themes of like previous characters is done just so well here. I do think he is a better. I do like. I'm not like one of those internet people like I never liked Lin Manuel from the beginning. Blah blah blah. It's like 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 that's my stance. That's my big political stance. So you all know I'm cool. I never liked him for the start. Like I do see the appeal of him, but I don't agree with how he tackles music like narratively. I really love how Jorge tackles his. Uh, yeah, funny enough, you can hear some of the cut songs Jorge did, and some of them are definitely more Lin Manuel centric. Like one of the ones with Hades, I think was going to be like a rap. Like I don't no.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I go on his YouTube, like, just type in what his name and then type in what Hades cut song or
Yeah, I think so. You would have to look at Cup Song because there's some people have made like fan songs as well, which aren't as strong, but like there's a lot of cut songs. I think there's like 60 cut songs. Yeah,
uh
Hades doesn't appear in this. He's because there's so many characters in that.
uh
Yeah.
so this is
Or
him just
yeah, he
Oh,
also.
okay.
I think when he was like 21, he tried to make another stage play that was like very like In the Heights expired. I'm not entirely sure what it was, but it was definitely more like hip hop and rap focus. And I just don't think that's Jorge's particular strength. I do think it can work with like characters like Hermes, who's kind of like a genie-ish character, like Rob Williams is the genie. Like he almost exists out of time, but he's still like very morally ambiguous.
I think these are some of the songs right here.
Yeah.
Like,
Is this some kind of trick? Pretending I know because I'm so sick.
okay, I can kind of hear a little bit of that.
Yeah, actually, a really interesting one that worked out very well is like if you type in God Games Hera, Hera has a 70s disco theme. It's so unexpected, but it fits very well. And she has like a great like 30-second song. And it's nothing you would expect from like Hera, from like how she is interpreted in most mythologies, but like she's really great in this. And yeah.
Oh, so many times, give me one good reason why you're
Very
everything.
sounds a little bit like
You're
Dua
mind
Lipa a
of a
little bit.
genius. Pretty skilled with words. You can do better than that. Kind of funny, yeah. Never once.
Hmm, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, maybe my favorite thing of the year is Final Sagas in terms of media. I didn't expect it to like it as much as I did, but it's like it just kind of came out just like kind of like holy shit, this is really great. I can't wait 5 years for the whole like was Epic ever really good? Sorry, which happens with most musicals. But yeah, overall, it's a very. I also like this is still like technically a concept album, so it's like I can't wait to see the future of it, of like what we're gonna go from here. Like he did says he does want to work on like some smaller projects because he's like he's running on like 3 hours of sleep now because he's like the backbone of this project as well.
So, what rating would you give it?
Honestly, I would give it a very high peak to borderline like this is cinema to a degree.
Okay, yeah. Well, you put me on something new, so I want to check it out there.
Yeah, it's up there. It's a you can listen to it on Spotify. You can watch the whole like official AMAC playlist, all that stuff, and it's a really great thing to listen to. And like I can't wait to see what the future holds for him.